Hey guys, back with another video, and today I have my Winterween wrap up. Okay, so the prompts for Winterween were: read a book with the word haunt in the title, read a book with blue on the cover, read a book in the dark, read a book with with a winter setting, and read a creepy novella or short story. Okay, so first book, I fulfilled the prompt of reading a creepy novella short story and read a book in the dark. And for that prompt, I picked now it's moving all over the place. I picked Children of the Corn by Stephen King from the short story. Trying to get you guys with the front cover. Got it. Kindle's taking me on a tour as if I have never used this before. From the book Night Shift, it is a short story from that book, and it is one of my favorite Stephen King books. Or not books, movies. So yes, I did love this short story as well. I believe I gave it a 4 out of 5. The reason I believe that I gave it a 4 out of 5 is because everything about it was awesome to me, and it reminded me of the first Children of the Corn book, all of it. But the gateway into the other movies, it just didn't leave that sort of cliffhanger to me as a short story, but I did really enjoy it. It wasn't as scary either as I thought it was going to be, but other than that, I truly enjoyed it, and it was a really quick read, so I was able to read this in one sitting because of how quick of a read it was. So my kids did not get a chance to interrupt me as much. All right. So next, there we go. Next prompt I fulfilled was reading a book with the word haunt in the title, and it was also the group read. I don't think this was a book that I could double because it was already a group read. And I actually can't remember if this took place in a winter time or not. I know the person was on a sort of vacation, sabbatical sort of thing. Just trying to get her mind right and everything. Took some time away from teaching so that she can, think of things and get her mind right. And then, it went down. Really, really good read. Only because I liked all right, Kindle, I got it. I know how to use the Kindle. I think for me, I loved it more because it wasn't the typical house haunting book that I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be more like how the House on Haunted Hill sort of type of the mansion is haunted, and leave the storyline at that. When I don't know if this is a spoiler, but it probably is. This is more of the person is haunted sort of thing, and it's more of like she's haunted by her future spirit? I think she's haunted by her future spirit to try to get her not to do the things that she's about to do or that she's actually doing. But it's a really heartbreaking but great love story. I enjoyed it. I liked it very much. I believe I gave it a 4 out of 5. And I honestly can't remember why I gave it a 4 out of 5. But I'm gonna go out on a limb to say that it was because there were, like, you already figured out what the love interest was before they said it. There's one chapter in particular that kind of gave away the rest of the ending, but I still read the ending just to see where it was going to go. But I think that for me was why I didn't give it a 5 out of 5, but it was still really good. Really good. Okay. Next, it was read a book to fulfill my read a book with blue on the cover prompt. I read The Child by Fiona Barton, and I believe I end up giving this book a 5 out of 5 solely based on the ending. This book read slow. It didn't read incredibly slow or terribly slow that I would have wanted to put it down and not continue reading, because it had just enough curiosity to get me through onto the next chapter and then the chapter after that, which to me has the feel of a gothic horror story or gothic thriller. So I enjoyed that. But I didn't think the ending was going to go anywhere. There wasn't like a huge buildup to where it was like, okay, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? It was more of like a curiosity of like, why did this person do this? Will it explain it in the next chapter? But then it started getting like the last, I want to say 50 pages or so, it just started to get really, really ending. Or not ending, good at the ending. And I figured out the ending before it happened, but the confirmation of the ending was still so mind-blowing and so great. And I'm just like, everybody should read this book. I mean, I had a feeling it was going to happen the way it happened, but not exactly the way it was going to happen. Like, this was probably one of the most interesting detective stories I read in a while, because it doesn't play out in the way of most of the detective stories I read play out. Most of the stories, you're following the detective themselves as they go from family to family to try to figure out or solve the case. So not only do you follow the detective in that story, but you also follow the what do you call him, media person, the journalist. And the journalist is who you follow the most, and she ends up helping you tie the story together with the help of the police department. And it was just really really good how everything tied into one. So I really enjoyed it. And I know the new cover of this is actually black and green and another color, but I have the Book of the Month one, so this is my blue. And the last prompt was to fulfill a book that was set in the winter time. I do believe that part of this book was set in a winter, but I don't think everything took place in the winter, because what I got from the book is that it took place throughout the school year, not just the winter time, but a portion of it was in a winter. So I think it still fills the prompt, and that is Winter Counts. This was a really, really, really good Indigenous read. There are very good contributes to the culture, to the traditions, and just the struggles that you sometimes would think only your own culture goes through, but you realize that other minorities go through some of the same things that your culture has gone through. So it was a good story from a point of view of one of the people, because just because you're part of a culture doesn't mean that everybody in that culture experiences the same thing. So it's a perspective from one person in a town that needs, or a reservation, in a reservation that needs help, but from the perspective of one family within that reservation. Because you also get conversations of him with another woman that lives on the reservation, and her perspective is slightly different, and she's one of the people that's on the reservation that helps, other people that live on her reservation. Not necessarily that she is one of the ones that's struggling like the main character. So different perspectives, great storyline, great overall big plot event that's going on in there in this storyline. So really good book, really good read. I would definitely recommend every book that's on this Winterween TBR of mine. So those are my books that I read. They were really good. I do recommend them to other people. Would I reread these books? Absolutely. Absolutely. So these will not be going in the unhaul pile. These will be going back on my shelf because I would definitely reread these again. All right. But that is my Winterween wrap up. What did you read for Winterween? I can't even say the word right. Comment in the description box below if you participated and what you read if you participated. So with that, that is all I have. Until next time, bye.